I'm Jackie.
And I'm Ashley. Welcome back to Dumb Witch Club. Dumb Witch Club. I was like trying to think of how to do it in like a holiday way, like sort of like Carol of the Bells, but then it didn't really come out.
You'd have to be like, Dumb Witch Club, Dumb Witch Club, Dumb Witch Club, Dumb Witch Club. Yeah. Woo, wow, that's a lot. Okay, let's not do that anymore.
No. Well, let's work on it, because it could be cool.
Okay.
We are witches and we are dumb.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be cool.
Okay, we're gonna work on it.
I believe in us for that.
I love how we use recording time for these episodes to just like workshop different ideas that we're not doing right.
Yeah, we've been doing that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love it too. Well, I mean, it's a good way to do it because it's a big audience and they can give us feedback. And then if they're like, please don't ever do that again, we'll be like, oh, never mind.
We'll be like, we want to anyways.
Yeah, well, we might do that. We'll probably, in all actuality, we'll probably do that.
Yeah, I know.
We're like, we don't care what you think. They're like, okay, why did you ask?
Why did you answer?
Why did you answer? Why is any of this happening? We don't know.
Why though?
Why though?
I know.
Oh, we can't do that yet.
No, I know we're doing a card pull first, but we'll get to why though.
Can't do that yet. Can't do that yet. You're going to pull this time because I pulled last time.
Okay, bossy.
I know, I am being bossy.
It's fine. I like it.
That was super bossy. I don't know why.
I like it.
Like, normally don't do that, but
I like it. I don't mind.
cool, because I definitely did last time, and I loved my pull, but I
loved
to
it
see
too.
what you get.
Yeah, maybe speaking of workshopping ideas, maybe we should just take turns pulling the cards because I
Will
feel
we
like
remember?
it's just written. No,
That's the truth.
we won't remember.
No, we will not remember.
Okay, never mind.
But, you know, we can attempt to remember. We attempt to remember a lot of other things.
It's true. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're just joining us, we're using the Seasons of the Witch Yule deck that we've been using
For a few weeks.
season long.
Yeah. Which we love.
Love this deck.
Love it.
Love it.
I really do love it, and I, like you have already mentioned, I love the green gilded edges. They're so beautiful.
Gorgeous.
All right, I'm ready to pull. Ooh, oh, you did that so fancy.
I know, I don't know what that was.
Fancy.
I just felt compelled.
Okay, well, I wanted to, no, I'm just going to do it. Doing this one. Gatherings. This is the same one I pulled 2 weeks ago, people.
It's telling us to party.
Gatherings.
It's just telling, we have to party. We need to party.
Why do we pull the same cards all the time?
I mean, we should maybe talk about that on another episode and explore that further, but
We actually really should.
we should.
We will.
We will.
I'm going to write it down.
Yeah, because other people probably have that question too.
Yes, and I know we've commented on this a lot. Like, it looks like these decks have, like, 2 cards. Because we were pulling the same cards.
I know.
Anyway, Gathering says, gather, gather, festive witches, speak of joy and drink to wishes. Take 1, give 2, celebrating all blisses. It's a lovely card. It's a lovely energy. It's not that I have a problem with it.
No.
It's just so shocking.
Yeah, it's like you got nothing else for us. But okay, here's what I'm going to say about it. I think that it's just, okay. I think it's just telling us, like, enjoy this season.
I agree.
Do your gatherings. That's the most important thing that is coming up. One specific one, but, like, you know, there's other ones. And just enjoy that. And don't worry about the rest of this. And just reminder, like, all of this stuff you're doing is for that. So, there you go. Because maybe it's not just, like, we're not getting it. It's just, like, you don't need anything else right now.
Yes. Okay. I like that.
I do too.
Because, yeah, maybe that's just the same message that we need. Not because we didn't get it, but it's because that's the one that we need.
Yeah, and it's like, just let everything else go. Like, why are you worried about it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good. I like
Love
that.
it.
I won't worry about it.
I won't either.
I'll only worry about gatherings.
Yes, just gatherings. Gatherings of festive witches is what it specifically said.
That is specifically what it said. So, very interesting. All right. The universe knows. The universe knows what's up, okay?
That's right. It does.
So that was a good card pull.
Who are we to argue?
No one.
Okay. Why? Now we can why, though.
Now we have to talk about why, though.
Now we can why, though. Well, you already know what I got.
Yeah, which didn't even write it down. I'm like, oh, she's got that covered. What is it?
First quarter moon in Pisces. I love it. I'm so excited. It's so good. It's like we had the new moon in Sagittarius.
Yeah.
Which is a really good new moon. And like we planted those seeds and those things are working. And like the first quarter moon is really where things start to build momentum.
Yes. Right.
Yeah. So those seeds are like working. And I love the Pisces energy with this because you're going to get a lot of downloads. You're going to get a lot of sort of visions and ideas about what it is that is going to be coming to fruition. And this is the time to really make sure that you're aligning with those like true to you visions.
Yes. And I love a moon in Pisces in general.
Yeah.
So
Beautiful.
It's always lovely.
Watery, dreamy.
Yes.
I know.
I also just want to point out, I'm really into this lunar phase family cycle concept right now.
Yeah, you are.
So this first quarter moon in Pisces is going to correspond to about 9 months ago, the full moon that happened in Pisces. So just keeping that in mind, which was in February or maybe early March. I'm not sure exactly when.
That was a good full moon.
Yeah.
I need to look back at that, but that was a good full moon.
Going back to that and thinking about what was going on then. Maybe it's coming up again now. Maybe it's progressed now. Maybe it's something you intended and set intentions for back then.
Yeah.
But maybe it's not. So just kind of keeping in mind the little bit of bigger picture too.
I like that.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Juicy stuff.
Love it.
Okay.
Yes.
Another main thing. We're entering Capricorn season.
Yes, I love that.
I know.
I
feel like Sag season just like flew by.
It really did. Yeah, it really did. I can't believe it.
Did it even happen?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. I mean, maybe that's why we're getting that card too, because it's like, yes, it's happening. Enjoy it. Party.
Yeah.
Revel in it. Like, it is happening.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we're going to Capricorn season on the 21st. That is also the solstice.
Yep.
That is also Yule, in case you celebrate. If you're a witch or whatever.
You could have a gathering.
Yes, you could have gatherings or a gathering for that. So that's just kind of a big energetic shift.
Yes, and I love it because I think that sometimes people think, oh, now it's Capricorn energy, so like party's over, right? Because it's like Sag energy is like over and like, okay, but no, it's not, because it's still the beginning of like the peak of the holiday season.
Yes.
And Capricorn is not just business person, businesswoman lunch special. Capricorn is very work hard, play hard, and this is very play hard energy.
I think that's true, especially at the beginning of it when it's doing that transition from Sagittarius.
Yeah, it's
and
like,
it was still in December and, ringing in the new year and out the old year. Yeah, it's all very Capricorn.
It's
it really
like
is.
Business will be handled in January.
Yes.
But right now, we gonna party and have gatherings.
Definitely. No, I really like that you point that out, because I think, like any sign, it can kind of get stuck in those like 1 or 2 or 3 adjectives, like determined, hardworking, Capricorn. And okay, yes, that's all true, but that's not the whole picture.
Especially not when you think of the Capricorns,
Oh, yeah.
And I'm thinking of a specific one right now. And she would not just be about like, oh, well, no, this is just, no. She's interested in enjoying the season as well.
100%. And yeah, if you were talking about the person I think you're talking about,
probably,
which is my daughter, she loves to have a great time.
Yes.
And then she knows when it's time to get to work, and then that's what she does.
Yes. Yeah. And it's on the horizon. It's coming. It's not like it's not going to happen. So you might as well just like put that off and just enjoy the gatherings.
The other thing, and I think this is very Capricorn too, is that, and I'm thinking specifically about my daughter, but I think it represents Capricorn energy.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm going to get all my work done so that I can forget about it all and party and have a great time and enjoy life. So it's not even a like, oh, I'm putting it off, I'll get to it later. It's like, no, I'm going to get it done.
Totally.
And then I'm going to be like, bye-bye.
Yes. And however you function, if that's the way you function that makes you feel like more, I don't know, sort of like aligned, ends up great. And if you're more of the person of like, yeah, I know it's going to be there, but I'll make my plans and I can set it aside. Whichever way you want to do it. But I think, yes, the reminder is like, now it's time to celebrate and like really time to enjoy that as much as, you can. I know.
Totally.
The season's a little weird, but.
Well, yes. And there's always different emotions and different factors in, any time, but especially this time of year.
Yeah,
so we're just saying the most, or as much as you can.
Yes.
Focus on these kinds of energies and like bringing that kind of spirit to yourself. I think it just helps, especially if you are also dealing with difficult aspects of this season or emotions that come with it. So.
Yeah. Surround yourself with your people.
Yeah, definitely. That does help a lot. I also want to say on the 23rd, so we know Mercury's in retrograde. Yeah. Started in Capricorn. Yeah. And now that little bastard is retrograding all the way back into Sagittarius.
Friggin' Mercury.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Mercury's busy AF because the day before that, while still in Capricorn, it's going to conjunct with the sun, who just went into Capricorn. Like, literally, the sun just goes into Capricorn, and Mercury's right there, and he's, like, on his way out, but he's, like, bumping into him at the door.
Yeah, rude.
Like, calm down. Get out the way.
And then he's like, okay, I'm just going to do this over here, and you're like, yeah, but you're messing everything up. Like, why'd you have to come in?
Yes.
Why didn't you just wait? You just bust in and now you're backing out?
Yeah, so Mercury's making a stir, but that's fine. That's what Mercury does, and we can deal with that. In retrograde, in Sagittarius, you're going to see maybe perhaps some of the shadow side of Sagittarius because of the retrograde, which might be being really lazy, being really, these sort of opposites or like the corresponding things that Sagittarius. So being really expansive, but like in an annoying way, where you're not like getting to the point, or people aren't doing this around you, or you just don't feel like doing it. You're like, whatever, right?
It made me think of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Love that movie.
Yeah, and it made me think of like John Candy's character in that movie, like Mercury in Sag retrograde is that vibe. It's like everything's going wrong. Like Steve Martin is the one that it's happening to, and John Candy is Mercury in retrograde.
Yes.
Just ruining his life.
Yes.
And you're like, why? I can't get on a plane. I can't do anything.
Yeah, everything I try to do, you're there, you're showing up, you're getting in the way.
Being annoying.
Yes. Oh. That's really good.
But then, so you're like, ew, that's going to happen. But it's like...
But then what happens?
And think about, like, what a story, like, that's funny. Like, eventually, it's funny. Or...
But there's also this sweet, soft side.
There's a sweet, soft side. Or, like, a...
And a really, really, really good intention.
Yes, good intention.
It's executed poorly.
And what if, something malfunctions and you can't catch your plane, but then you have to take a cross-country bus trip and there's this cowboy that sits next to you.
Oh.
And
that
then,
sounds all right.
Right? And then it was a malfunction. But now you have the cowboy that's sitting next to you.
Now you have cowboyfriend.
Yeah, cowboyfriend. That is so great. Yes, and he owns a Christmas tree farm, but it's they're going to have to close it.
Yeah, because they're having financial troubles because his dad was sick.
Yeah, and she doesn't have a dad.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And it's the dad's dream to keep the farm going.
Yeah, and his dad is Santa.
Yeah.
Shit. So, anyway.
Hallmark, hire us. We have great ideas.
We really do. Oh my god.
I know.
Cowboyfriend is gold right there.
Christmas cowboyfriend.
Christmas cowboyfriend. I would watch the shit out of that movie. Are you kidding me? I saw that come add to library. Christmas cowboyfriend. I'm so on that.
Cue it up, baby.
It's so great.
I love how unhinged we are. It's very Mercury in Sagittarius in retrograde.
It is.
Okay, that's all the why though that I have on my plate.
All we can do.
No more. We're done.
We're moving on from why.
So that is why though. Don't ask us for more. We're done.
We don't know any more why though.
No.
Okay.
I'm worried about this big witch energy.
Oh no. You're worried?
Yeah, we're already acting like bonkers. I'm just like, how is this? We're talking about new moon.
Yeah.
Who dis?
Sagittarius. Oh, we said it different from how we did before.
I know. Before we said it like
Sagittarius. It was so bad.
Yeah. I'm glad we didn't do that, even though we just repeated it.
Oh my god. It was peak California vocal fry.
Yeah.
Oh well, whatever. Everyone's gonna hate us. Okay.
New moon, who dis Sagittarius
New
edition.
moon, who dis. Yes, okay. What is new moon, who dis?
That's where we dumb witch. Okay, no, this is sort of the adjunct to...
Oh, I like that.
Thank
Adjunct.
you. See, not dumb
Not
witch
dumb.
here.
Not dumb.
The adjunct to our new sign who does series, where we did covered all the signs and kind of the sun sign variation.
Yeah.
Now we're just kind of diving into what that means if it's a moon placement in your chart, or kind of the energy the moon has when it's in that sign on its monthly cycle.
That's right. Yep. Yeah.
Did I get it right?
You totally got it right. Yeah, we do kind of like a little combo of both. And yeah, your moon sign is the precise location of the moon in the sky at the time that you were born.
Yes.
It's part of kind of the big 3 building blocks of your astrological makeup. And if you need to know more about the big 3, check out our big 3 episode from back in June.
Was it in June?
It was in June.
You're so accurate.
I know. I want it to be because I'm like, if we're going to tell them to watch it, then I
should
don't
help
want them
them
being
find
like,
it.
where is it?
Yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah.
So what energy is the moon shining light on for our charts, for our personalities, for ourselves?
Shining light on your inner compass.
Yes.
Right? Your the intuitive aspects of your personality.
Mm-hmm. Yes, your emotional needs, your emotional expression, your relationship to feelings in general.
I love when you say that.
It's a nurturing sort of archetypal mother energy.
Yes, it's all about your attachments.
Yes.
It's all about what makes you feel sort of secure and whole and safe and you, like inner you.
Yeah, and maybe like the slightly more vulnerable inner self that you're not always putting out on display, or that not everybody gets to see a lot of all of the time.
Yep,
It's more private aspects of yourself.
It's a good placement. It's a nice one. If you've really just focused on your sun sign and you haven't delved much further, this is good.
Definitely. So what does it mean if all of that symbolism, all of that energy is being pushed through the filter of Sagittarius?
Ooh, yeah. Well,
what are we going to see?
well.
As a person with a moon in Sagittarius, I would like for you to give us a little insight on what that is like.
It's a wild place. It's an interesting place. For me, with everything else around it, it's interesting, and that is not necessarily going to apply to everybody, right?
Of course, because just to put a little pin in that really quickly, whatever your moon is in is going to be interplaying very closely with your sun and your rising and all of your other placements. And so what we're saying, we're trying to focus on how the moon shows up in Sagittarius. Yeah. But your experience is going to be colored by your other placements.
Exactly.
As will yours and everyone else's.
Right, which is just a little bit of like, not the caveat, but just a little to say, like, if things don't completely resonate with you, that's probably because of these other things.
Well, yeah, especially when you're talking about your personal experience
of course.
With this.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but, like, when asked that question, like, that's sort of what comes to mind, right? Because you only know your own thing. But when I am trying to extract out the moon from that, it is one of my only fire sign placement. I have Sagittarius show up in my chart a little bit other than the moon. But all of the fire in my chart is Sagittarius, and my moon is Sagittarius, and yeah, it's intense. It's an intense emotional. I feel like it adds the necessary fire to my personality and to who I am. It kind of makes me think of like when we were talking about the Scorpio Sagittarius cusp, because I'm a Scorpio sun. And what we were talking about with that interplay of energy, that happens between my ego and my emotional side a lot. Because I feel like when I'm a Scorpio, like I feel that passion and stuff. But that Sagittarius moon really like sets it on fire with my emotions and the way that I feel.
Yes, and I think sort of like generalizing that more than just your personal experience, which obviously is 100% valid, but it's giving me this like jumping off place for saying that like the moon itself is a night energy. It's sort of associated rulerships are, Cancer, like water spaces. Yeah. So having a moon placement in a fire sign, you're going to be bringing like a lit up kind of fire under your ass kind of energy into this like watery, kind of dark, tender, emotional place.
Yes.
And so that's, I think, what you're talking about.
Totally.
But that is the fact of what this placement in this sign is bringing.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because it's a mutable fire sign.
Right.
So
it's wild.
It's wild. It's wild. It's all over the place. It's like this and that and whatever. And the beautiful part about that is the mutable nature of it means that it is very open-minded. It's very free. It's very able to like perspective take and like adapt to things. It's fiery, but it's not stubborn. It's fiery, but it's not super fixed. It's fiery in a very expansive, changing, evolving kind of way.
So I can also hear and see how that could be challenging if your emotional center and your sort of relationship to feelings is this, very expansive, sort of changeable, mutable, but very like hot fire, place. So, I think having a moon in Sagittarius, it's an awesome placement because it's really kind of opposite energetically in a lot of ways, but then that also makes it a challenging placement.
It does. I think the thing that helps a little bit with that, because it is challenging, is that I feel like the Sagittarius energy is a very fearless energy. So even though it's challenging and even though it's presenting these things that are tough and everything, Sagittarius energy is very face it, head on, not afraid. Okay, we're just going to confront what's happening here. I feel like Sagittarius moons are very curious about their feelings. They want to unpack them. They want to analyze them.
Yes.
They want to understand why they're having them. I feel like there's like almost like a philosophical approach to like,
totally,
why is this happening to me and why did I react so strongly to that, and maybe I need to like think about that further. Maybe I need to adapt and be a little bit more like mutable in that place.
And I think that really does speak to that key Sagittarius quality of wanting to learn and expand and grow sort of your mind and applying that specifically to this area.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I also think another sort of place in life that the moon symbolizes that we didn't mention is your moon can give you introspection into tools that got you through your childhood. When your personality was not as developed, the higher parts of your personality were not as developed. So it can really give you insight into your family dynamic and maybe your role that you ended up playing in that family dynamic. And so with that, I think the tools to get through childhood, the tools to kind of cope emotionally for a Sagittarius moon are wisdom, imagination, the ability to take perspective. And I think those things are really, really helpful. They can also become habitual problems in your life, that maybe people pleasing or things like that, which I think is kind of surprising when you think about Sagittarius energy. Like, how would a Sagittarius energy end up people pleasing? But I think you might see that in cases because of that type of being able to take perspective of others, being able to like be expansive becomes a habit of deferring to other people.
Or just accepting maybe too much, or just dealing with, because you can be like, well, they're doing it because of this, and so, I'm just gonna like deal with it. And I mean, you do very much become the person that like a lot of people will go to because they know that you're gonna meet them with no judgment and just kind of handle it, or that like you can deliver, things that need to be said in like a certain way. And so it can very much influence like the role that you take on as a person, because you are, I think Sagittarius moons are seen as like emotionally strong and like put together. Like there's a vibe of that.
Which I think is true with fire moon placements generally.
Very much so.
And specifically talking about Sagittarius. Because I think it does carry that wisdom, being the furthest along in the zodiac wheel of the fire signs. It does carry that almost like old soul type of feeling in a fire sign way. And the other signs at the end also can carry that clearly, you know, Aquarius, Pisces, you know, Capricorn even. But I think Sagittarius starts to have that, you know.
Yeah, and I think what really gets challenging about that, other than just the, you know, normal
like
parts,
it's pretty obvious, but
it's pretty bad, you know, that can get really like fraught. But other than that, just like with thinking of like Sagittarius energy, is that Sagittariuses want to be unfettered. They want to be free.
Yeah.
It's like, freedom, the song is like a Sagittarius anthem.
Yeah.
Very,
totally.
right? Just is like, and it's not just like, I don't know, it's like emotional freedom. It's the freedom to be themselves, to express themselves, to not have like expectations put on that. There's a need there. And so when you couple it with what you described and kind of being the person that is relied on for these things and doing that all the time, Sagittariuses can get like up to here with it, and then all of a sudden you won't see them anymore.
Yeah, just totally flip, you know? Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, but it's because it can only take so much, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like it gets to that point with Sagittariuses, and then I feel like it really is kind of like a hard cutoff, and then they will literally run. They will just run in the other direction.
Because they're going to seek their freedom and adventure elsewhere, and they're not afraid to do that.
They're not afraid to. Yeah.
So, like, don't push them that far, people.
Exactly. And you'll know, like, I can look back at certain things in my life and see, like, where I was, like, really unhappy and not in balance because I was doing that and wasn't honoring those things. Because just because this energy is inherent and this is how you feel doesn't mean you're going to honor yourself all the time. And it doesn't mean you're going to honor those things. And there have been times in my life where I have really not done it. And looking back at that, I'm like, wow, I felt really trapped. And I was like pushing against the bars, but like not really. Like the door wasn't even locked, but I didn't open it. You know?
Yeah. No, for sure. And I mean, I don't know. Moon energy is like it's this vulnerable, but really powerful place. But you have to learn to be in touch with the powerful parts because often we are not shaped to do so.
That's a really good point. Yeah, that's the challenge about the development of your moon sign. And you know, just like a little side note to that, if you're getting a little bit more in depth with it, you can look at the degrees of the sign, like the degrees into the sign that your moon is. Like if it's from like 0 to 13 degrees or something, it's like the very like early, right?
Yeah, it's like about 30-ish
degrees.
But yeah, so like the first quarter or the first 10 degrees, like they can have different, you know, so like we get into that cusp kind of feeling, you know, at like the beginnings and ends.
If it's the first kind of, if it's in the lower degrees, it's like maybe you need a little bit more time to kind of accept that energy. Maybe it doesn't feel as comfortable to you, and there's going to be times where you're really going to have to like bring it into alignment. Whereas if you're in the latter degrees, you're probably a little bit more like solidified in it and aligned, like you're vibing it and you kind of get it. You've got the wisdom kind of thing.
Yeah.
So if you want to go even more in depth, that's something that you could do.
That is a good point. And we haven't talked a lot about degrees in general throughout a lot of this, just because that is a little more of like a microscopic, like getting down to a more nuanced view. But it's interesting and it's important. And as you get more into stuff, you can become more comfortable looking at the degrees and kind of understanding how that's even further coloring what's happening.
Totally. Especially if it's something where you are having trouble understanding
Yes.
why you're that, or like how you fit that or something.
Yes. How does this, what is this? Yeah.
That might give you a little insight. Like, oh, okay, maybe I just haven't stepped into my power with this yet. You know, I have some more work to do.
So I also want to add that I feel like a Sagittarius moon, because moon also is about like your habits, your daily habits, sort of like the way that you just kind of exist, you know, within yourself, but in your day. I feel like they can be a little all over the place with that stuff.
Yeah.
And not to say like disorganized or chaotic or anything, but just a little bit like, all over the place. I'm just going to stick with those words.
It's true. Yeah, it's definitely true. And I honestly think sometimes it's like it's so frustrating sometimes because it's like a self-sabotage. It's like, it's almost like the wanderlust freedom aspect of it
Yes.
is like making you do that. And then you're like, why are you doing this? Like literally all you have to do is just get out the door. Like, why are you doing this to yourself? But it's like your Sagittarius moon is just being like, no, it's funner if we do it like that. Like,
Yeah.
why do we have to do it the same?
I'm not trying to have fun. I'm trying to get this done.
Yes,
Yeah.
or like you just need to go to the place that is convenient. But your Sagittarius moon is like, yeah, but like you've never tried that place and it's new.
Yeah.
And that could
Or
be
there's
really
a different one in this city and you can go that one instead. And you're like, no. Yeah.
so called out. I knew I was going to be called out by a lot of things, and that was the one that I was like, oh God.
Okay, but it was done with love and respect.
Yeah, but certain people that are probably going to watch this are going to be like, oh,
That's why she's like that.
yeah, literally. And you better not.
Whatever. If you do, don't tell me because I will come after you.
And if you do, that's
not
fine.
a threat. I mean, it is, but it's not legally.
Yeah, not legally. We can't legally threaten you. But,
No, not at all. So.
I won't be there. You won't be able to find me because I won't be in any usual spot because I don't have any of those. So.
You'll never
Good luck.
find her. Yeah, they'd be really good on the run, on the lam.
Totally.
Any Sagittarius placement, but I feel like especially a moon because they're just going to be
Yep.
like Homer into the bush.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Totally that energy.
Where'd you go? Yeah, totally.
Oh, it's so cute.
I don't know. What else do you have?
Let me see. We mentioned a lot of these things. I feel like Sagittarius, another thing about them is they're very inclusive of other people.
Totally.
We were just
Lots of
talking about this.
connecting
They're the connectors. And we were just talking about this earlier with like the gatherings. It feels like this whole theme of this episode, but Sagittarians, especially Sagittarius moons, like they love a party, love a gathering. It gives them an opportunity to talk to a bunch of different people with a bunch of different perspectives and all different ages and walks of life. And where do you work and what do you do? And oh, you own this place. And like,
Yeah, what are you doing?
oh, it's so great. And I feel like that's a part of the sign that isn't talked about a whole lot. Yeah. They're very much like the bringer together, very like teacher-y too. Like they're really good with like making things make sense and like making it make sense to other people.
Yes, like breaking down those big things into...
Yeah.
Like we talked about on the witching hour. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I think because they like to learn and they're so curious and that's the way that their mind works, that it's easy for them to unpack and break things down for other people.
Yeah, and I think especially, like you said, in a moon placement particularly, because it is such an intrinsic sort of personal part of who they are, that they like to, when they do bring it out, it's that way is really comfortable for them.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about the gatherings.
Yes, I know. She is. We are.
Yeah.
We are. We all are.
We all are.
No, you're right. I mean, obviously, there's always more to say about everything, but I feel like, man, that was like a rapid fire.
Oh, yeah. Fire. See what you did there.
Yeah, see what I did there? That's totally on purpose.
I loved it.
Do you have anything more key to add?
Nah, I think that's good.
Okay.
It's a lot.
It is kind of a lot, and I feel like we did like really bang it out fast.
We did.
Dirty.
Sagittarius moon.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay, now we have to do a spell of the week.
Yeah.
Okay. I got it.
Are you ready? Okay.
I got it.
All right. Well, because I'm ready. Like, if you're ready.
Okay, so this spell of the week is, I think, technically more like a ritual than a spell. Okay?
Oh,
so
okay. I love
whatever. Don't get mad, okay?
No, I'm not mad.
No, I wasn't. I mean you.
Oh. Don't get mad.
Don't get mad. Thank you. Back me up. Anyway, this is a spiral walk ritual.
Spiral walk. Cool.
And this is sort of related to Yule, which is what, we're in the season of. But it can be used at any time. It's sort of a mindful, meditative, centering practice. Okay. And all you're going to do is you can go anywhere, to a park, or if your own yard, if you have space. Mm-hmm. And what you're going to do is you're just going to, if you have in your head, you can imagine like a spiral, right? Like, Mm-hmm. You're going to start on the outside, however big you want your walk to be. And you're just going to walk in a circle, but gradually getting smaller and smaller and smaller until you get to basically a center point.
Okay.
And you can sort of map this out. You can put like a candle or a stone or something in and consider that your center, so you kind of know where you're walking towards. And all you're going to do is walk silently. You're going to breathe. You're going to think whatever thoughts come to mind. Notice the thoughts that come to mind. If you want to ponder on something specific, you can do that too. And then once you get to the center, you're just going to pause there, take a breath, and then you're going to walk back out around in the increasing spiral. And this, sometimes you can go, or I've been to places where they have this, like a garden where they have these spiral walks. If you know of that, if you go to that, obviously you can do that there.
Super cool.
But you don't need that, and you don't need to mark it off with, you could mark it off with chalk or string or something, but you don't have to do that. You can just do the walk in that pattern and then walk back out in that pattern.
That's cool.
And it's sort of a centering mindful ritual, like I said, but I think that is also a spell depending on why you're doing it or what you're thinking about when you're doing it.
Really sweet and nice.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking of a song that I'm going to listen to when I do it.
I love that.
It just reminded me of something, and I'm like, oh, that would be good.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's my spell of the week.
I love it. Thank you for that.
And it also gets you out into nature, and even when it's cold, we got to get out there and appreciate it. So,
just bundle up, and it can be a small spiral if it's really cold.
Yeah, totally. And obviously it's just a quick thing. It's just a chance to do something intentional.
Yeah,
So,
I love that.
yay, spell of the week.
Yay, spell of the week. Lovely.
Okay, that was a sigh. How are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm totally good. I'm a Sagittarius moon. I'm fine.
Well, I'm like Leo moon. I'm fine too.
Yeah, you're like, we're both fine. Why are we even talking about
Why
this?
did I even ask? Never mind. We're fine. Always.
Always.
That's hilarious. Okay, so I guess that about wraps up this episode.
It does. Yeah, I think so.
All right, until next time.
Stay witchy, friends.
And stay dumb.
Dumb Witch Club is written and produced by us, Ashley Sidner,
And Jackie Gerard at the Dumb Witch Clubhouse in Orange County, California.
produced and edited by Matt Heinemeyer, creative director and culture consultant Violet Turner.
Original music by Ashley Sidner. And look us up on all your favorite social media platforms, including Patreon.
Until next time, stay witchy, friends.
And stay dumb.